Hi there, Miguel. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting these essays for you. I understand that you're taking the IELTS very soon, and so time is really of the essence. So let's get right into this. Let's see how you did on this first set of essays, okay? We've got the letter, English, and homestay. Let's see what you wrote. Dear Holland family, my name is Miguel Viorel. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Forgive me. Okay, and I am the student that will be visiting you next semester. I am from Venezuela, but I currently live in Colombia. I love languages. Actually, I also speak some French, and traveling is one of my hobbies. So visiting the UK for the first time is a dream come true. Okay, this is very nice. You did what mostly what you're supposed to do. You introduced yourself, and that's perfect. What is kind of missing for me is the reason for your letter. Now, you don't know these people, you've never met them before. And so, this is probably a good opportunity to write a formal letter. So, rule of thumb is if it's like a teacher, if it's like a manager, or someone you've met several times, it's okay to be semi formal. But when it's someone you don't know at all, you may want to lean more formal. And one of the things that we do in a formal letter is we start with the reason why we're writing, and for semi formal too. So it would have been good to start off not just saying my name is this, but saying, Dear Holland family, I am writing to thank you for agreeing to host me as part of the English and Homestay program and introduce myself. All right, so just a really straightforward sentence about the reason for your letter. Okay, so keep that as a rule of thumb. Um, and I didn't like the actually here. I think better would have probably been in fact, um, and maybe an and too. So I love languages, and in fact, I also speak some French. Or I love languages, semicolon. In fact, I also speak some French. That would have been great. Okay, and to be honest with you, as an examiner, I can tell you that there are certain things we love seeing. We love seeing things like semicolons being used correctly. So if you can throw one in there and use it the right way, then that's definitely to your advantage. All right, let's continue. I've been reading a few things about your culture and traditions, but I believe it is better. You need the preparatory subject it here. I believe it is better to hear some things directly from you. Can you tell me how the weather not is usually during the next 6 months? I kind of want to look at that sentence again and fix it. Uh, how about this? Can you tell me what the weather is usually like uh, during the time I will be in the UK? Something like that would have worked a little bit better. Or can you tell me what kind of weather I should expect during the next 6 months? So you kind of need to rephrase this a little bit, all right? Okay, so I need to bring proper clothes for that. Also, how much does public transportation cost monthly? I will have to attend classes, not two classes. I will have to attend classes in the downtown area of the city, okay? Or I will have to attend classes downtown, so I will be using it a lot. And one last question, is it better to travel by train or bus within the UK? Because I would love to visit some other cities and I must plan it with some time ahead. Okay, a couple of things here that happened. First of all, I would not start a sentence with and also this sentence here is a fragment. You can't say because I would love to visit some city. That's not a complete sentence. So it needs a little work. It should have all been one sentence. Or you could have said something like, is it better to travel by train or bus? I ask this because I would like to visit some other questions. Or the reason for this is because I would like to visit some other cities. So just starting with the because here is a little problematic, and also the and. Now, the other thing that I want to mention to you is, as I said before, this is a formal letter. And so one of the things that we like to do in formal letters is we like to use indirect questions. And as you can probably imagine, we avoid direct questions. So what is a direct question? What is an indirect question? This is kind of an indirect question, even though it has a question mark at the end. So you don't say, what is the weather like? That's a very direct question. Instead, you say, can you tell me what the weather is like? So that's an indirect question. It's okay. But you had quite a few direct questions here. So is it better to travel by train or bus? I would have preferred something else. Could you tell me if it is better to travel by train or bus? Okay, here, this is very direct. How much does transportation cost? It could have been, could you tell me, or I would like to know how much public transportation costs. So these are some things I would like to see you implementing and using in your formal and semi-formal letter writing. Okay, let's continue. I'm counting the days until my visit. My flight is scheduled for July 20th, but I will actually arrive on July 11th around 10 a.m. I hope there won't be any problem or delay, but I will keep you posted. Okay, fine. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Here, the to is a preposition. It doesn't mean full infinitive. So it should be looking forward to seeing you soon, Miguel. Okay, so Miguel, it's nice. You're on the right track, but you need to work on some of these other things that I talked about, like grammar, like using the correct register. And by that, we mean how formal or informal something is, and also having a better opening statement here that is more of like the reason why you're writing this letter. Okay, but you're certainly on the right track. So let's take a look at your task 2 here, staying in the same job. Let's see what you said. It is well thought that it is necessary to permanently stay in the same job, while other people think changing it is required at least once in their lives. This essay will explain the disagreement with the first statement. People should change their job at least once because doing the same thing forever can make you feel bored and lose motivation. Also, every time you switch, you can get more experience. Okay. Grammatically, you're fine. So that's good. I didn't love what you did here. This essay will explain the disagreement with the first statement. It's a little awkward and it's a little kind of like it's not 100% clear what your position is. So there are easier ways to do this that actually are clearer and make it very straightforward. So this essay will explain why I believe that staying in the same job is detrimental and why people should switch. So just make it very clear. Okay. Or what else could you do here? Well, other people think changing jobs. Okay. This essay will explain why I agree with the latter statement. So that's, well, it's not too different from this. But again, I really would just like to see it a little clearer. Not will explain the disagreement with the first statement. You want to say will explain why you disagree. Even that would be better. Okay. And also why why don't we talk about what you agree with? So this essay will explain why I agree with the latter sentence. I actually like that better. Okay. Not focusing on the disagreement, but instead focusing on what you agree with. Okay, let's continue. People who stay in the same job forever can become bored with what they are doing and feel it is less challenging. By losing this motivation, is expected to be less worried about improving their. It is expected to be less worried. I don't understand that. Okay, maybe. Do you mean? Yeah, I'm not really sure what you mean. By losing this motivation, it is expected to be less worried and about improving their abilities and rather stay on a comfort zone. All right, you're kind of losing me with the grammar of this sentence. Are you saying that this is, let me think what you're trying to say. Give me a second while I try to kind of work this out. When this motivation is lost, it is expected that people are less worried about improving their abilities and instead stay in a comfort zone. I think this is what you're trying to say, but even still, I don't really see the connection between some of these ideas. And so it's kind of problematic for me. Okay. I would like to see this rewritten in a way where your perspective here is more clear. Okay. They may tend to feel safe and won't feel they need to change anything because they already have been there for a long time. Actually, a survey performed in different companies showed that former employers thought their ideas were, not where, with no H, always good and change was never needed, while new staff constantly worked to bring new ideas in order to improve. All right, I want you to be careful with this use of actually. It feels very conversational and not really appropriate for a task two. And I kind of felt that way. I think you had it in your task one as well. I would avoid it. It definitely feels more conversational. You could say something else like, for example, or for instance, okay, or to illustrate, even that would have been okay. All right, let's continue. Also, when people change their job, they get an opportunity to become more experienced. By facing new responsibilities, a person is forced to prepare themselves in order to show they are capable uh, for their new job, not their new work. I'm not really sure about that. They're capable, not for, hold on. Person is forced to prepare themselves in order to show they are capable. Having trouble with fixing this for you. I want to just stop the sentence right here. Okay. Or by facing new responsibilities, a person is forced to prepare themselves in order to show they are capable employees. Even that would be better. Okay. Or capable new employees if you want to emphasize this idea here. Additionally, they meet new people from whom they can learn new things. That's a great piece of grammar. Good. As a nutritionist, I got to work in different clinics and hospitals, always in a new department. So when I got to open a private practice for consultations, I was able to apply everything I learned. Okay, that's nice. Let's see. Let's continue. Staying in the same job forever can make you feel safe, but also takes away your motivation to improve. I would not use on the contrary. I would say in contrast. In contrast, by switching, don't even say it. In contrast, by switching, you get to learn from new people and new responsibilities you need to be prepared. D for. This is why I disagree with staying in the same job and encourage people to change. I would again take out the it when they get an opportunity to do so. All right, so Miguel, I'm seeing some nice language. I'm seeing a lot of natural language, but I'm also seeing quite a bit of inaccuracy. And when that inaccuracy happens, sometimes it's kind of hard to follow your ideas. And so I really want you to work on this, working on some of this accuracy and some of this clarity and coherence. So it's like when the language is clear and accurate, it's wonderful, and I can see you're doing some nice high level things, and that's great. But it's not entirely consistent, and so that's what I really want you to work on. Okay, I want to see one other thing here. Okay, yeah, it's fine. So I liked your task achievement. I like that you did something a lot of people don't do. You told us that you disagreed with the one side, and so you went into some detail as to why you disagreed with it, and then you continued about your perspective and why your perspective is right. So I was actually pretty happy with that. I thought you did a good job of task achievement. So like I said, it's the other areas, primarily I would say grammar that I want you to work on here. And other than that, I think you're at a good point. So I want to see more essays from you. I anticipate that I'm going to see them quickly since your exam is in a week or so. So let's try to get them back to you as quickly as possible. Okay, so good luck with your next set, and I'll be waiting for them.